Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will continue our enhanced tutorial journey, where in this part 3 we will set up our web applications. I will show you how you can create different packages, how you can set up staging domains, and basically the basic workflow with the web application. Either if you want to create staging, cloning, and all the good things that you might need to use in the future. So I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, please leave comments down below. I'll be happy to answer. And yeah, let's get straight to our enhance. So first thing, what we want to do is to create our normal user access. By default, you can create web applications as an admin, but from the security standpoint, I don't really recommend it. Admin user should be only used for administrative tasks, not for other things. So this is why we need to create our own user for ourselves. So how we can do it? Usually, first, we need to create our package. So let's just create our package, and for example, we can name it like your own package. So it's gonna be Webnestify. Package type will be shared, and you can limit yourself if you want, but it's not really unnecessary. So you can put everything to unlimited. Software installer, I usually like it. I like to pre-install the WordPress, and also you can pre-install the plugins for different packages if you want. So usually if you are on Open Lightspeed or Lightspeed Enterprise, you can just pre-install Lightspeed plugin. Lightspeed. Also, if you are using Postmark, we can pre-install the Postmark. And any other plugins that you are using on day-to-day basis, you can specify those plugins here. Unfortunately, you can't upload your plugins yet. It should be in the roadmap, but it is not there yet. So for now, only plugins from the WordPress repository can be pre-installed. Same goes for the theme. Also, you can allow the WordPress admin lockdown, WordPress plugin manager, theme manager, user manager, emails. If you have your own email server, you can also specify the email settings here for this specific package. And for the domains unlimited, we are not using the DNS server. And also for the backups, you want to allow self-installation of SSL certificates, SSH access, website cloning, allow PHP editor. For the PHP versions, I only allowing the latest, so it is 8.0. Default always the latest as usual. And for the reselling, usually if you want to set your own staging for different packages for customers, you will need to allow the reselling, because then you can specify your domain for the staging. If you don't enable a reselling and you put package to your customers, they cannot do staging because there is no option to specify the staging domain. So if you want to offer stagings, you need to allow reselling. Usually only one is enough, and we can add our package. So once we have our package, what we want to do is to create our first customer. So let's go to customers. Add customer. It's gonna be Webnestify. Webnestify.cloud. Simon, and you want to specify password. And here you will select the package. And as you can see, now we can select specific server for application. So it will be web application server, database server, and also the backup server. And this is because we specify the package type dedicated. If you want to set up Enhance as a shared hosting, you can specify one package and you choose type shared, so you can add different customers to the shared package, so they will share the same resources. But I never done any shared hosting, I never, so it is up to you. You have the option to do whatever you want. So let me copy the password and we can click add. And now we can impersonate this user. And usually all your applications you want to do under this user. And first, what we need to set up is our staging domain. So when you go to the settings, platform, you can also set your custom PHP in my admin. You can set your staging domain. So in this case, it will be, for example, we can set it up like Webnestify.org. We can click save. Let's go to DNS and let's set the server IP to webnestify.org. Let me return the admin. Let's copy this IP address. And you want to add a record. For the root is this one. And for the staging, I usually do the asterisks and also the server IP. So anything that webnestify.org will be served from the web application server. Let's click save. So let's go back to our customer, do impersonate. And also you can set up a different phpMyAdmin domain if you want. All you need to do is to copy the main enhanced panel IP address and specify the domain for the customer for the phpMyAdmin. So it's pretty straightforward. For the control panel name, I don't use it. You can skip name servers, and also you can specify the language for the customer and also some prohibited domain. Alright, so I think that's it. When you go to package info, you will see that it's basically unlimited. And also as a reseller, you can add a customer, but that's completely up to you. And now we can create our first web application. So when you go to websites, you can add a new website and you can specify the production or staging. But first, we don't have any production, so we cannot create the staging. So let me just choose a tutorial.webnestify.org. Our username is gonna be vntut. Password, and we can click add. And we don't need to add probably any record here because we have the asterisk, so anything will be served from this. So you save yourself some time and headaches when it comes to DNS management. Also, what you can do, like if you have hundreds of domains, you can set up CNAME flattening on one domain, and then you can just point the CNAME record to the web server. There's also another option, but that I will cover probably in the future tutorials on my channel. Okay, so when we go to security, we can check the SSL. We can request our SSL certificate. As you can see, we have our SSL, and we can also force HTTPS. There is also option if you don't want to use like a 3 months less encrypt certificate. You can go back to Cloudflare, go to SSL, and you can create your own free 15 years SSL with Cloudflare. Only requirements for this SSL is that it needs to be proxied and served through Cloudflare. So what we can create our certificate, we're gonna choose EC. Here you can specify the validity, so it's gonna be 15 years. Let's create, and you can copy the original certificate. You can click install custom SSL. We paste the certificate, and now we're gonna paste the private key. And we can click upload. And as you can see, we have 15 years SSL. Make sure to save this SSL certificate if you're gonna add future more domains to it, so you don't need to request any SSL or have headaches. So that's it for the security. When we go to advanced, if you have some domains that need like redirects, you can add them here. For the optimization, opcode caching is enabled by default. FTP, I don't use FTP because it is unsecured on 21, use SSH on port 22. And for the developers, you want to enable the Brotli extension. And if you need any other PHP extension, feel free to enable it here. Here you have your global PHP in the editor for your website. So you can add some directives. And here you can see your SSH password authentication and also your cron jobs. By default, this cron job will run like differently, and I like to set the WordPress cron job every minute. So let's click save. And you can also enable the IronCube loader if you are not using PHP 8 or 9.3. And you can also enable the Redis, and here you can specify the Redis configuration file if you need, but by default is completely fine. Alright, so now as you can see we have our applications. We can click manage, and you can do your maintenance also through the panel. You can enable the maintenance mode. You can enable or disable plugins through the WordPress manager. It's basically like in a cPanel or Plesk, the WordPress manager. And yeah, you can enable, disable themes. You can add your WordPress users. You can change the password. You can enable WordPress debug, etc. and etc. So let me go to home. And as you can see, here is our website. And now we can log into admin with one click, which is great. The SSO is really great from the self-hosted version of this enhanced instance. And of course, we have 404 error because we are doing tutorial. That's great. So if you get that 404 error, usually you can wait a minute and it should be fine. So when we try to log into admin now with SSO, it will work perfectly. So, and when we go to the site health, as you can see, everything is working just fine. So this is how you can deploy your WordPress applications, or if you want, you can add just blank PHP application, which is install an app, that's it. And then you can upload your custom PHP apps via SSH. And so now what we can take a look is how you can clone your website. So first you need to add website. You can clone, and here you can specify which website you want to choose. So in this case it will be tutorial2.webnestify.org, and make sure to have this checkbox enabled to perform search and replace. So we can click add, and now it is cloning the websites and the database, etc. And usually this process is really fast depending on the website site. So the website clone is done, and we can manage. And again, we can add our custom SSL. certificate. We're gonna add our private key, upload, and again you want to enable the Brotli extension, and anything else is basically the same. So we can log into admin. Hopefully there won't be any 404. And no, we don't have any 404 error. So this is how we clone our website. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Another feature that we set up was the staging. So when you go to websites, add a website, you will choose clone website and you will select staging. And here we select tutorial2 and we need staging to 2.webnestify.org, and also we want to do search and replace, and you can click add. All right, our staging is done. So same, go to security, SSL, install custom, and you want to add the Cloudflare key, or you can just leave it for the Let's Encrypt. Usually automatically it will do within a couple of minutes, but you can also request manually the Let's Encrypt. You click upload, enable SSL, and yeah, that's basically it. So what we can do, we can test the staging functionality. So we can log into our admin on our staging site. And we're gonna add some plugins if you want. Let me just do the WooCommerce. We can install it. We won't configure it, it's just for demonstration. If you want to develop your e-commerce stores on staging, then you can push it live. So we can click activate, can do refresh, and I'm going to skip it. Let me just do this one, Slovakia, go to my store. And here we have our WooCommerce. So when you finish up with your design, with your build, you can click this button to push live, or you can also push it to existing website or to a new website. So usually existing website is the staging that you created from. A new website is if you want to deploy a brand new WordPress installation from the staging. So we're gonna push to an existing site, and you're gonna push it to tutorial2, and database is PHP version, search replace, and we can push it. And now we can manage our website, and when we log into admin, we should have our WooCommerce on our tutorial2 website. Go to plugins. Okay, WooCommerce have been disabled. Why? So I know why we don't have any WooCommerce there, because we excluded the files from WP config and WP content. So you want to disable those two, and we can push live. And also you want to exclude the WP config. And now we can push live, and it should work. Okay, let me log into admin. And here we go, we have our WooCommerce. So make sure when you clone or push live those websites, you want to deselect. Let me go here. You want to deselect the WP content because you want to move all of your plugins you install on the staging. And also you want to exclude the WP config from the staging because it will have different database entries. So you don't want to serve live website, for example, from the staging database. So that's why you want to exclude this. And that's basically it for the staging. And what we can now talk is the backups. So when you go here to the backups, you can create your own manual backups. And also in the previous episode, when we set up our platform settings, you can set your automatic backups however you want. If you want to do every 1 hour, every 4 hours, it is completely up to you. You can watch the previous episode with the enhanced tutorial. And same for the restoration. You can restore the website. It's pretty quick and easy depending on the website site. And yeah, it's pretty easy and straightforward to work with Enhance. And last thing what I wanted to show you is how you can create your website in a subfolder from the original root website. So when we go here, we have our domains. And if you want to add a subdomain, right? So you want to name a subdomain of this will be sub.tutorial.webnestify.org, and document root, you can name it like subdomain, if whatever you prefer. Subdomain. Let me add this DNS record. It's gonna be sub.tutorial.webnestify.org. We can click save. And we can add our domain. Again, for this domain, we want to request our Let's Encrypt because you cannot use second level of subdomain for free in Cloudflare with SSL. You will need to have a premium SSL. So let me quickly request our Let's Encrypt. And we have our SSL. So also enable force HTTPS. And again, we can add our root domain. So when we go our add domain, it's gonna be subdomain. Or you can do alias. So yeah, that's basically it. But our main domain, we set it up as tutorial. But if you set up as webnestify.org, the top level domain, you won't have any issues with Cloudflare. Because when we go to SSL, when we go to overview, origin server, here you can see the advanced certificate manager, which will cost $5, and you can add cost of $10 a month, but you can add unlimited subdomains of the subdomains, etc, etc. So we can click cancel, and let's go back to install our web application. So when you go to the apps, you want to install a new, and here you can specify the domain. Gonna soup, password, and this website will be in the root directory of the main website, which is tutorial.webnestify.org. And I will show you. Alright, so now when you go to the file manager, as you can see, we have our public HTML for the main website, which you can completely edit the files from here. you can upload files, folder, you can create new, you can, for example, select those, you can compress them and download it. You can also upload, which is very, very powerful file manager. RunCloud does not have these file manager functions. And as you can see on the left side, we have our second installation of the WordPress, which called subdomain. And it's basically the WordPress in our WordPress installation, which is sometimes you want to use it, sometimes you don't. Another benefit of using subdomains is that Enhance won't charge you for a subdomain as a website, because the pricing for Enhance is per website, right? And also the Lightspeed is charged per website. But subdomains are always unlimited and they are for free, so you won't be charged if you set up your subdomain in your main domain. If you set up your subdomain as a separate domain, a separate installation, then you will be charged for this. So make sure you decide what is better for you. And yeah, I think that's it for the files. And now we can also talk about the databases, because with Enhance you will get also one-click login to your PHPMyAdmin. And so let's just do a login to our PHPMyAdmin, and we need to specify our domain here. So let's go to platform and let's go to phpma.webnestify.org. We go back to our DNS and we already have it, so that's fine. We can click save. Okay, so it's gonna be PHP. And we're gonna do it like this, a PHP, and we can click save. So I have changed the PHP, my domain, for php.webnestify.net to prevent some issues, because everything is served from the same domain. Usually you want to have separate domain for PHPMyAdmin. So now what we can now check is go back to the website, and as you can see, here is our PHPMyAdmin. When we go to security, SSL is already on. We can force HTTPS, and when we go to our website databases, we can one-click login to our PHPMyAdmin. Let's try again. Also give it a couple seconds or minute or two to fully propagate. For the PHPMyAdmin, if you change it, and now it was like 3 minutes, we waited, and when you go to databases, we can one-click to our PHPMyAdmin. And what you can also do, when you go to websites, when we go to security, you can also lock your PHPMyAdmin to specific IP. If you are using your own VPN, this is really great option to lock this IP address. But usually when we open this one, let me try to open a new window. Let me clear the cookies. As you can see, this PHPMyAdmin only listen for single sign-on, so this is your public website and no one else will be able to log into PHPMyAdmin, which is great for security reasons. But still, you can use your own IP address to be 100% sure that only you have access to your databases. Okay, so I think I covered everything. No, of course, there is one thing that I wanted to mention. And when you go to any website, real great feature is that you can add collaborators. So for example, if you have developers or someone else who needs access to website, you can invite user, you can name it dev1, You can give him collaborator access, and you can select which websites you want to give him access, which is very, very great. And for the invite method, I usually invite with a link so they can set up their own account. You can also do email, but you need to set up the SMTP for your panel. So that's also really a great feature. Alright then, so yeah, I think that's it for this tutorial. And yeah, if you have any questions or issues, feel free to leave comment down below. I'll be always happy to answer any of your questions and help you out. And yeah, I think in the next part I need to think what there will be, because I think we already covered everything. But if you have some specific topics or things that you want to know about the Enhance, let me know down in the comments below, and I can create another part for this tutorial series where I can basically show you and answer all of your questions. So that would be another great idea. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another great video tutorial on Webnestify channel. So take care and bye bye.